Okay. Who wants to do the mandala?
I'll do the mandala.
Oh, look at you all spry this evening.
That's right. Ready for it. Okay.
Okay, hold on.
The world. To offer the world.
Thanks. Okay. Go ahead, please.
Sashi Jushin Me Tok Tron. Rirabling Shi Gimpe Gimpadi. Songe Shindu Mikte Owagi. Drokun Namdak Shingla Druparsho. Iram Guru Ratna Mandalakam Nirayami. Songe Shindong Songe Shudong Suki Choknam Nang Chu Bardu Daki Kapsuchi Daki Chenyang Jinpe Sunam Ki Dola Penshir Songe Juparsho Songe Shudong Soki Choknam La Rangchu Bardu Daki Kapsuchi Daki Chenyam Ginpe Sunam Ki Jola Penshi Sange Dupasho Sange Shudong Soki Choknam La Rangchu Bardu Daki Kapsuchi Daki Chenyam Ginpe Sunam Ki Drola Penshir Sange Dukasho.
Thank you. All right. Okay, the quiz. Let's do it. Okay. All right, there's two parts. Okay, so I'll flip to the next part in a little bit. Okay. Good luck. People need more time? No. Okay, no one needs more time? Okay. Okay. Time for class. Okay. My internet's acting okay? All right, good. Okay. Yeah, sorry. Tonight's class is gonna be shorter. I am busy and dealing with some intense family stuff. So I'm going over everything, but class is just gonna be shorter. Probably till we're done. So I hope that's okay for everyone. Is there any questions from class 5? It was pretty straightforward. No questions? Kelly McGee? Kelly McGee. Where was the first turning of the wheel taught, Kelly McGee? First.
Where?
Yeah.
I just did this.
I know.
Sarnath.
Near where?
I'm not going to say it right, but ACI. Varanasi.
And the second turning of the wheel?
Vulture's Peak.
Yeah. At
I don't know.
Rajagirha.
Okay.
And the third?
I don't remember.
Yeah. I love you, Kelly McGee.
My brain's a little fried by this point. No,
We're only halfway down the class. I know, it's okay. Vaishali.
Oh, yeah.
How did the first turning of the wheel start?
How did it start?
Yeah.
I mean, I know that it's that the Buddha was sharing the teachings about the 4 realized truths.
Yeah, exactly. The Buddha started teaching for the first time.
Yeah.
Okay, what about the third turning of the wheel?
That was in response to the question from Bodhisattva Paramadasa. I'm mixing up the syllables. Samugata is his last name.
Good. Let's do it together. Paramartha
Paramartha
Samudgata.
Samugata.
Samudgata.
Samudgata.
Yeah, good.
He asked.
What did he ask?
He asked which of the first turnings were true, or how to deal with the fact that they seemed contradictory.
Perfect. Yay. And what does the phrase turning of a wheel really mean?
It means sharing when a teacher shares Dharma and then the student has realizations.
And then what does the student do?
The student then goes on to teach others.
Yeah, that's your job. Got it?
Yeah.
All right, good job. Yay. Cool. Welcome to Clase 6. All right, here we go. I'm going to make this as painless as possible. All right, here we go. We're just doing the answer key and then we're going to be done. Then you're going to party all night. Right, Paula? Okay, when we refer to the first turning of the wheel as something which is either figurative or literal, are we speaking about any teaching Lord Buddha gave during the initial period of his teaching career? Give an example to explain why or why not. So I'll give a little context. So Lord Buddha began the first turn of the wheel by teaching those 5 disciples. And he taught them the Four Noble Truths and other things like that. But he also taught them other things, like how to wear their robes properly. So here's the question. Does the turning of the wheels refer to a time period? Yes or no? No? No. What do you think, Kelly McGee?
No.
So the first turn of the wheel didn't start first?
It started first, but
Yes or no?
it doesn't accurately describe it to think of it that way.
So the first turn of the wheel did not start first. That's not accurate to say that?
That wasn't your original question.
Did the first turning of the wheel start first? Yes, no, ma'am.
Yes. Yes, it did. Oh, you're frozen.
Hello? Sorry.
Oh, you're back.
Yeah. So the first turn of the wheel was first.
Yeah.
Okay. So everything that Lord Buddha taught in the first turning of the wheel was in the first. So the time period in which Lord Buddha taught the first turn of the wheel indicates when the first turn of the wheel was.
Yeah.
No, that's when you're supposed to say no.
But it's not all perfectly sequential.
I gave that to you, Kelly McGee.
What? Like he would go in between them. But he started with the first one.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Good job. Okay, good. So
you probably write really hard multiple choice questions if you ever write tests.
Oh my God, I could write really hard anything. If I cared to use that much effort, which I don't. Okay, but thank you. Yeah, exactly. Kelly McGee was right the whole time. Hello? Sorry about my internet, everybody. Kelly McGee was right. So it gave teachings in the first turn of the wheel that they were taught during that time period, but people don't really think of them as the first turn of the wheel because their subject matter is not of the subject matter that is in contention with regards to the turnings of the wheel, right? What's the main point in contention that Lord Buddha is clarifying in the third turning of the wheel?
Whether all things exist by definition.
Exactly, or don't, right? So does how to wear your robes necessarily have anything to do with things having existence by definition or not?
Not really, no.
Not so much. Yeah, that's it. Here's the answer. We are talking about any teaching that Lord Buddha gave during the initial period. We are not talking about any teaching that Lord Buddha gave during the initial period of his teaching career, because there are teachings that he gave during this time that we do not have to examine as their true meaning, as to their true meaning. An example would be his advice to the group of 5 at Varanasi, urging them to be sure to wear your lower robes in a neat circle. Got it? All right. Question 2. Oh yeah, you're supposed to do your homework right now, okay? You don't have time to do it later. Anna's shaking her head. That's good. She's doing it, I can tell. She's staring at the screen. She's doing it right now. Yep, she's doing it. I can tell. I don't know about some of you other people, though. I'm watching you. Yeah, Kelly McGee, what are you doing over there?
I can't do it at the same time. I won't be able to pay attention.
Okay, fine. You're a
I've
good.
tried.
You're on
But I write down notes.
Okay, notes are good. Good job. Okay. When we speak of the final turning of the wheel as being literal, are we talking about anything that was taught during the final period of Lord Buddha's teaching career? Give an example to explain why or why not. Again, we are not, because not everything taught during the final period of Lord Buddha's teaching addressed the fine distinctions between what exists by definition and what does not. An example would be the teaching Lord Buddha gave just before entering his final Nirvana on appropriate monastic behavior, entitled The Summary of Vowed Morality. Got it? Okay. So when was the first turning of the wheel? Okay, I'll answer yes or no questions. Kelly McGee, you ready? This is debate chess, okay?
Yes.
Just say yes or no. I'm gonna make it easy.
Okay.
Was the first turning of the wheel before the second turning of the wheel?
Yes.
No.
What?
Watch. I'll ask again. I'll ask a different question. Did the first turning of the wheel start before the second turning of the wheel?
Yes.
Was the first turning of the wheel before the second turning of the wheel?
Did it end before the start of the second turning?
I didn't say that. Was the first turning of the wheel before the second turning of the wheel?
I thought yes.
No, because there was parts that happened after the second turning.
Yeah, it's right. In entirety, it was not before.
Yeah, I didn't use that word. Okay, let's try again. This is how you debate.
I feel like we're speaking different languages.
I'm speaking a lot of languages. Listen close. Did the first turn of the wheel start before the second turn of the wheel?
Yes.
Was the first, okay, different question. Listen closely. Was the first turn of the wheel before the second turning of the wheel?
No, not entirely.
Exactly, because if any part was after, you can't say it was before. So you have to say no. Right?
Okay.
Right. So does a turning of the wheel mean the time period in which it happened?
No.
Perfect. Does a turning wheel refer to the time period in which it first started?
Yes.
Yes. Perfect. Well done, Kelly McGee.
Would you also say that it refers to the primary concept or subject matter?
100%.
Yeah.
I just want people to get the idea that there was overlap, they happened at different parts, but as well,
yeah,
these questions do indicate that the subject matter that isn't mostly being focused on is not with regard that indicates a turning of the wheel is not anything that happened during that time period, because it is in fact about subject matter and the time periods overlap as well. Right?
Got it.
Okay, that's it. You won't forget now, will you? Okay. Okay. And I'm picking on Kelly McGee because English. If my Spanish was better, I'd pick on you, Anna. Especially you, Martha. Name 3 goals that the commentary on the true intent has in mind for us when it takes the trouble to divide the 3 turnings of wheel into the categories of figurative or literal. Okay. Okay, here we go again. Kelly McGee's your official representative tonight. Kelly McGee.
Yes.
You're just gonna say figurative or literal, okay?
Okay.
Middle way, first turning, figurative or literal.
Figurative.
Middle way, second turning, figurative or literal.
Literal.
Middle way, third turning, figurative or literal.
Figurative.
Mind only, first turning, figurative or literal.
Figurative.
Mind only, second turning, figurative or literal.
Figurative.
Mind only, third turning, figurative or literal.
Literal.
Okay, here's a question.
Mhm.
What makes a teaching literal in middle way?
That it talks about emptiness.
Yay! Okay, good, perfect. I was once hanging out with Geshe-la, and he's like, "Yeah, that was the point of the whole course." So he's like that. I think he said punchline actually. He's like, "Yeah, that was the punchline of the whole course."
of ACI 15.
Yeah, ACI 15, the course we're doing now.
Okay.
It was in a mixed nuts class or something. He's like, and I hadn't got that. I had listened to it 3 times and I hadn't gotten that up until that point. And it was in the last quiz or the last homework and the last quiz, right? So I remembered, and I'm making sure you all get it because I didn't. Okay?
Yep. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so here it is. These are the 3 goals that the commentary on the true intent has in mind. A, the sutra wants to prevent us from taking on face value the blanket statements that either all things exist by definition or no things exist by definition. B, the sutra wants us to learn that constructs do not exist by definition, but that dependent things and totality does exist by definition. Okay? And C, the sutra wants to provide us with an effective way of understanding emptiness by using the 3 attributes. The fact that dependent things lack certain non-existent types of constructs is the emptiness or totality of things. Whoa. Kelly McGee is going to be a mind-only scholar by the end of this. Kelly McGee.
Yes.
Do constructs exist by definition in the mind-only school?
No.
How do you say the word construct in Tibetan?
Shenwan is dependent things.
Good.
Kuntuk.
Okay, listen, say kun,
Kun.
kun,
Kun.
no air, kun.
Kun.
Yeah, if you say kun, it means something else. Say kun,
Kun.
tak,
Tak.
kun tak.
Kuntak.
Yeah, good. Yeah, kun tak. Kun means all, tak means made up.
Oh.
Yeah, makes sense.
That really sums it up.
Yeah, tak means like you just put it out there. You just throw something. It's like a label or something. Like just throw a label on it. So it's a bunch of labels, constructs. Okay. Now, how do you say dependent things? And do dependent things exist by definition in the mind-only school?
Yes.
Good. You're right. And how do you say dependent thing?
Shen Wan.
Yeah, say shen.
Shen
Wang.
Wan.
NG at the end. Wang.
Oh, Wang.
Yeah, good. Other powered. What is the thing they depend on?
They look. What is the thing they depend on? Well, they're. I don't know.
Causes.
That's what I was gonna say.
This is review for everyone, okay?
Mhm.
This is Mind Only School 101. This is the
They are,
basic.
they are caused, but they're self-existent.
Yeah, exactly. They are kepa, ngongi mepa. They lack any nature of not coming from their causes.
Right.
Okay. So okay, we're reviewing. I'm gonna pull a galupa and make half the class review. Okay, Kalamigi, what's this?
A pen.
Okay, so tell me the 3 parts.
Yeah.
Tell me. So tell me the kuntak, that the kuntak in your mind, the kuntak that applies to the pen, and the pen itself is a cylinder that writes.
The pen itself is a dependent thing.
Yes, perfect. But would you call it a pen at that point?
No.
Yeah.
Me calling it a pen is a construct.
Yes, and then?
And like the idea of a pen.
Yes.
Outside of this specific pen is also a construct.
Yeah, or just even the word pen in your mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Tashi, like Aldo, who's not here today. I'll just make fun of him tomorrow. Yeah, like Aldo or Joe Schmo, right? Or Kelly before she got the name Kelly, right? You came out, mom, you were just right? You weren't Kelly yet, right?
Right.
Okay, good. Okay, perfect. Yes. So if you minus all the kuntaks from all the dependent things, what do you get in the mind only school?
The totality.
Perfect, which is another name for
emptiness.
Perfect. And why is it called totality?
Because it's like the sum of the things.
Tell me the equation.
Totality equals, it's what you just were describing. It equals the dependent things minus the constructs. So it's like what's left after that.
So what are things empty of in the mind only school in this example?
It's like the pen exists, but the
Dependent things are empty of constructs.
yes.
Yeah, that's it. It's what you said, but I want you to just phrase it so you kind of get it, right?
How do you put that in the pen example? The pen.
Pens are empty of what you label them as, the constructs, the
label part.
The label that you put on them.
Okay.
Dependent things do not depend on the constructs you put on them. They're empty. But how do I know that this thing that I call a pen is a pen?
Because it works as a pen.
Yeah. And why am I forced to see it as a pen? Or call it a pen?
From your karma.
Yeah, no, specifically from my infinite lifetimes of calling it a pen. But why do animals not call it a pen?
Because they haven't experienced it as a pen.
Because they ran out of the karma from those infinite lifetimes, but when they get it back, they'll see it as a pen.
Okay.
Woo! Okay. Friday night good times, huh?
Not to make things more confusing, but if you were doing that if you were translating in that for middle way, you'd say that the pen
Okay, let's
does not have any self-existence.
Yeah.
And is totally dependent on your projections. It's just we use slightly different, we wouldn't call that a construct. We'd call that it feels very similar to like the Dunshi and that labeling stuff. Yeah.
Exactly. It's supposed to lead you there.
Okay.
Okay, let's do middle way now.
Okay.
Okay. Is this helping everybody? Is this helping you?
It's helping me, yeah. I don't know if it's helping everybody else who has
I
to
know it's
listen.
helping. I'm asking everyone else. It's helping you. Okay, Yinghui says yes. Okay, I hope it's helping everyone. I do know a couple things about mind-only school, okay? So I hope it helps you. Okay, so now let's talk about middle way.
Mhm.
Right? How do you say middle way in Sanskrit?
Madhyamika.
Yes, perfect. How do you say the higher school?
Prasangika.
Woo, yeah. I'll give you $50 if you tell me in Tibetan.
I don't know it. I wish I did. I really wish I did, but I don't think I know it.
Uma.
Ooh. Wait, say it again.
Mapa.
Ooh, Mappa.
Tengurwa.
Samgurwa.
Tengurwa.
Pengurwa.
Taln. Tengurwa.
Oh, Tengurwa. Gurwa.
Yeah, Tengurwa. Tengurwa means an absurd consequential statement. Okay. Okay. So, well, it's the pen thing. What is this?
It's a pen.
If a dog came in, what would they see?
Chew toy.
If we both left the room, what would it be?
Neither.
If the dog ran back in, what would they see when they came in?
Chew toy.
If I came back in after the dog, what would I see?
Pen.
Which one is it really?
Both.
Depending on?
The perceiver.
So is the pen that's coming this way or that way?
That way.
Yeah, and then we say the pen comes from an image in your mind that is from your previous karma. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now that image, okay, so that's the pen thing, like in 2 seconds. Now that image,
Mm-hmm.
now we got to talk about what does it put itself onto is the question, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Kelly McGee, when we say an image comes out of your mind to make it a pen, what is the image that comes on to this?
What is it coming onto, or what is coming out of my mind?
What is coming out of your mind? Pen.
Yeah, like my previous conception of pen.
Yeah, just a pen, right?
Yeah.
Perfect. So, but if you examine it as a cylinder, so what then are you looking at? What images are you coming out of your mind at that point?
Other ways I might perceive a cylinder based on my past.
No, smooth is coming out. Triangular is coming out. Pinkish is coming out. Lettering is coming out.
Oh, like to describe it?
No, not to describe it. For
Oh.
it to be what the image
Uh-huh.
of the pen is being placed upon the parts, but the parts
Oh.
themselves have to also be projected by other karmas as well. But when you're examining the pen as a pen, then you're talking about the pen being projected. But when you're talking about what the pen is being projected on, you have to talk about the parts of the pen and that being projected by parts in itself.
Mhm.
Right?
Mhm.
Okay. Did you get that, Paula? Okay, gracias. Okay. So then where does that process stop in Prasangika?
The process of deciding what it is.
The process of projecting on parts.
Does it ever stop?
I'm asking you.
I mean, there's a process of like putting the parts together to then call it a pen, but you're like constantly doing that with everything.
Yeah, but where does the process start about images being placed on parts and parts being projected to make pieces for parts?
Where does it start or where does it stop?
Where does it stop? Excuse me.
I don't know.
Never.
Yeah.
As much as you examine, even down to the atoms, because atoms have parts. So there's got to be a left side.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Sorry if you don't understand the question. Okay, great. So therefore, what is considered to have exist by definition in the middle way school?
Nothing.
Exactly. Done. All right. Question 4. And that's all you need to know, by the way. That's all of Sutra pretty much. And Bodhicitta, of course. Okay. Jason Kappa takes pain to disprove the idea of some Tibetan thinkers that all 3 turnings of the wheel were meant literally. These thinkers would even say that Lord Buddha was speaking literally when he said, actually, in order to attract some non-Buddhist groups, that things do have some kind of self-nature. What object do they say that Lord Buddha was referring to, and how is this object sometimes misinterpreted? Okay. These thinkers believe that Lord Buddha was referring to the essence of the ones who have gone that way, or the Buddha nature that each being possesses. This is actually primarily the emptiness of our minds, which provides the potential for us to see our minds one day as enlightened. This nature or potential is frequently misinterpreted as referring to some Buddha within us that somehow already exists, which we must simply reveal. From here, it is easy to go on to the error of believing that we do have some self-existent self-nature. Okay, Kelly McGee, I'm going to pick on Leah now. Leah!
Hey, unmute. Go ahead, pick.
Do you have Buddha nature?
Yes, I have Buddha nature, but I'm not always aware of it. I mean, like, yes, I have Buddha nature. Yes.
Good, yes. So you have a self-existent nature?
I didn't say that.
Yes or no?
No, I don't. I don't have a self-existent nature.
So Buddha nature is not a nature?
You mean Buddha nature is not a self-existent nature?
No, Buddha nature says nature. So is Buddha nature a nature or not?
Yeah, yes, Buddha nature is a nature.
So Buddha nature refers to a nature.
Yeah, yes.
So you have a nature of your own.
I I don't have a nature of my own. I'm not, self-existently anything. I'm what I make of myself and you make of me, and Kelly and Aldo and Pao make of me.
So Buddha nature means you have no nature?
My Buddha nature is my enlightenment nature when I see emptiness directly.
Answer the questions yes or no, ma'am. So Buddha nature means you have no nature?
My Buddha nature means, I mean, it sounds like I have a nature, but actually that's figurative. I mean, it really means that I actually have no self-existing nature.
Right. So yes or no, does Buddha nature mean you have no nature?
Yes, that's what
Yeah.
Buddha nature.
Yes, that's it. Yes, that's correct. So are you telling me Buddhas have the same nature as you?
They have the same nature as my future Buddha self. Yeah.
Yes or no? Do Buddhists have the same nature as you?
Yeah.
Thank you. Yes. Perfect. Good.
And
Okay.
everybody else on this call.
What's that?
And you and everybody else on this call.
Exactly. Good job. Okay, that was it. Yeah. So Buddha nature means that you lack any self nature, which is the emptiness of everybody, and that is how you can get enlightened. Because if you had any nature of being enlightened from your own side, then that part of you couldn't become something completely different. Because if you're a human like me, being a Buddha is going to be very different than being how you are. Okay? If you're already omnipotent or omniscient, excuse me, and full of bliss, then perfect. Good job. Okay? Tell me who you are so I can give you offerings. All right. That's it. People confuse all the time. Okay, here we go. Question 5. I can't hear Paul, but I can tell she's doing a good job. What is the position of the sutra called the King of Mystic Words, an actual order of the 3 turnings of the wheel? Okay. So what is the position of the sutra? Proceeding from the idea that the 3 turns of the wheel must each be higher than the preceding, the system of this sutra is to order the three as, 1, the turning of the wheel during Lord Buddha, where Lord Buddha taught the 4 realized truths, and then the turning of the wheel where Lord Buddha made fine distinctions between what does and what does not exist by definition, and then the turning of the wheel in which Lord Buddha taught that nothing exists by definition. And why does this make some kind of sense? I'm going to go back to Kelly McGee. Kelly, why does it make sense to order things in this way?
Because that was the order they started in.
No, 2, the turning of the wheel where Lord Buddha made 5 distinctions.
Oh, I'm misreading. The turning, the first is turning 1, the second is turning 3.
Yeah.
And the third is turning 2. So why would you put them in that order?
Yeah.
Because it corresponds better with how we typically talk about lower schools versus higher schools.
Yeah, it goes up in like a predictable pattern, like everything self-existent, nah, only some things, and then nah, nothing, right?
Mm-hmm.
But why did Lord Buddha have to teach the 3rd turning of the wheel the way he did?
To help people I guess maybe he had people who got stuck in between them and needed the additional clarification, like in terms of teaching to his students, I guess.
Yeah, because Paramartha Samudgata, as he presented himself, wasn't ready, so therefore he had to teach him a lower teaching. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, he probably was enlightened, so he just did it. He just was the fall guy for Lord Buddha. He's like, Lord Buddha was like, okay, this is how it's gonna go down, okay? You're gonna ask this question, then I'm gonna teach this whole school for people in 2020. This girl, Kelly McGee, she needs to learn this. Okay?
Possible.
Totally possible. Okay, good. How many questions left? All right, Geshe-la, I love you. Here we go. Number 6. Is there a difference between the final period of the teaching and final turning of the wheel? Yeah, this is what we talked about in the beginning. Kelly McGee is now going to explain this perfectly. What's the difference?
The final turning of the wheel refers to the primary subject matter of the final turning, or the approach of it, which was that some things are self-existent and some things are not. And while it started last, it wasn't, the final period does not include, could include teachings from other turnings of the wheel.
Exactly. So the final turning of the wheel refers to subject matter, not to the period.
Uh-oh.
Hi.
Hi.
The demons don't want you to learn mind only.
Really does seem that way.
Okay. Let me start my screen share again. Sorry about those technical difficulties. Don't worry. We're going to finish the ACI courses. Okay. Question 7. After deciding that other more extensive definitions may be problematic, the great textbook writer of Saramay Tibetan monastery, Kechub Tempa Dargay, gives a very... Kechub Tempa Dargay wrote most of the textbooks for Sarah. He's an unbelievable writer. Gives a very revealing general definition of the first turning of the wheel of the Dharma, rated here. He gives the definition as a sutra of the lower way, whichever of the 3 turnings of wheels it belongs to. We must interpret 3 turnings in the definition as referring to the 3 historical turnings, and the lower way as referring to for those who can only understand selflessness in a more simple interpretation. Okay, so this is just clarifying more of the same, as I understand it. When Kechub Tempa Dargay clarifies, he's just saying, a sutra of the lower way, whichever the 3 turnings of wheel it belongs to. We must interpret 3 turnings in the definition as referring to the 3 historical turnings, and lower way is referring to for those who can only understand selflessness in a more simple interpretation. And selflessness is the word that the lower way uses for what we would call emptiness. So that's what it's referring to. Okay. So yeah, basically anytime we're talking about selflessness, which is the subject matter of the first turning of the wheel, it's the first turning of the wheel. Okay. Hope you're having fun. We're almost done. How does Kedrup Tenpa Darge then distinguish between the disciples for whom the second wheel was turned and the disciples for whom the third was turned? Okay. He does so on the basis of whether or not they need to.
I'm going to pull the answers up on my computer.
Okay. Hello? I'm just using my data for the rest of class. We shouldn't drop out again. Okay. Sorry for the millionth time. One last go around here. Maybe the gods are telling me I talk too much. Paula's like, definitely. Okay, good. He does so on this is question, did I finish question 7, right? Yeah. Question 8. I'll repeat it, excuse me. How does Kedrup Tempa Darge then distinguish between the disciples for whom the second wheel was turned and the disciples for whom the third was turned? He does so on the basis of whether or not they need to reinterpret the meaning of selflessness as taught in the second turning of the wheel, through relying on works such as the chapter requested by the Bodhisattva Paramatra Samagata. Basically, if they're not literal, if the second turning isn't literal to them, and they need like the mind-only texts to reinterpret them, then based on that, then the second turning of the wheel wasn't turned for them, right? I hope that makes sense. I'm getting funny looks. I mean, funnier than usual. ¿Entiendes? Okay. I mean, I understand it, okay? So I'm moving on. The main, question 9, the main sutra. Question 8 is just saying that if you need an interpretation other than the pen for the second turning of the wheel, then therefore it wasn't intended for you, the second turning of the wheel, not, it was something else was. And specifically sutras like the one that our book is about, our course is about. 9, the main sutra of the mind-only school, called the Commentary on the True Intent, says that the specific disciples for whom the third turn of the wheel was taught are those who have entered perfectly every one of the different ways. This seems to imply that it was taught for students of both higher and lower ways, which would seem a contradiction. Okay, if you remember from your homework and quiz, who was the first turn of the wheel taught for? Anybody? En español o inglés?
Hinayana.
Sí. Okay. Solo en español. Who was the second turn of the wheel taught for? ¿Quién? It's on the quiz. Say Mahayana. Mahayana. Okay? Upper
Oh,
lip.
I thought it was in Spanish. Sorry.
No, it was, but I just said something because they didn't say anything. Okay. Mahayana. Okay, good. So, Kelly McGee, who was the third turning of the wheel taught for? It's on the homework. The last homework quiz.
The mind-only school.
No, it was taught to all disciples, remember?
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's what this question's about. All right, I'm glad I reviewed that. So why would he say that? If it doesn't make sense. If you're a middle wayer, you're one of those all. Why would you need the third turning of the wheel if I'm supposed to take the third turning of the wheel as figurative and a lower school, right? It seems to be a contradiction. Right?
It's
Oh my
like
God.
it's like the step on the way to the higher schools.
Let's see
Like going through all the stages of learning.
maybe. Let's see what Kendra Temple Darge says, okay?
Mm-hmm.
He divides the three intended audiences as follows. Those who can grasp the system of the three attributes with regard to the lack of a self-nature to persons as presented in the first turning of the wheel, okay? So those who can basically use the mind-only school's understanding of emptiness and apply it to the first turning of the wheel, okay? And then B, those who can grasp the system of the three attributes with regard to the lack of a self-nature to objects as presented in the second turning of the wheel, without requiring any reinterpretation, such as that given in the chapter requested by the Bodhisattva Paramartha Samugata. So basically, people understand the pen, the second wheel, as being literal in terms of the pen, as described by Geshe Michael, for instance. Okay? And then the third group, those who can grasp the system of the three attributes with regard to the lack of a self-nature to objects as presented in the second turn of the wheel, but only if they rely on a reinterpretation such as that given in the chapter requested by the Bodhisattva Paramartha Samugata. Since those in this category can understand the content of the second wheel with help, then by implication, they can also obviously understand the content of the third wheel, and have in this sense entered then both the higher and lower ways. Because they're using the mind-only school to reinterpret the second turning of the wheel. And therefore, according to Kedrup Tempa Darge, in that sense, they've entered both the higher and lower ways. Woo. That's it. Okay, we're using up all my data. Quick, any questions?
So is the implication here that we want to be in number 3 because we want to be able to understand when we're Hinayana and recognize when other people are and help them get up to the next level. And so by entering both ways, we can both help ourselves whenever we, have a Hinayana point of view, or when we run into a person with that. Is that what this is saying? To enter all ways will help us and help other people?
No. We don't want to be C. We want to be B.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, C is a mind-only school person who understands the second turn of the wheel by using the mind-only school.
I thought it was saying the mind-only school helps us to be stronger in our B-ness.
Nope. I'll show you. Look. Okay. Those who can grasp the system of the three attributes, right? Kuntak, Shenwang, and Yongju, with regard to the lack of self-nature to objects, right? As presented in the second turn of the wheel. So those who use the three attributes in the second turning, but only if they rely on a reinterpretation.
Okay.
Yeah. Since those in this category can understand the content of the second wheel with help, then by implication, they can also obviously understand the content of the third. They understand the third turn of the wheel, and they use that and apply it to the second. And have, in this sense, entered both the higher and lower ways. But that's not us. I mean, depends on the day for me, I guess. Okay?
Thanks.
I'm going to end class. But I do love you all so much. All right, here we go.
Hey, is there anything that we can do to help with the retreat?
Probably ask Tim. I mean, probably, or ask Ali. Ali Hassel probably is helping. Do you know those people? Do you have their emails or anything?
I have Tim's. I don't know about Ali's. I don't think I have Ali's.
I think Leah, just email me separately so I'll forward it to them or something.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I don't know who's doing what. I'm not part of the planning, but that's who usually does it. Okay, who's saying mandala?
Sashi Puki Jushin Metok Tram Rera Blingshi Gimpe Empadi Sange Shindu Mete Owagi Dokun Namdak Shingla Jupasho Iranguru Ratna Mandala Kanya Tayami Kewaki Kewoku Tsunameshe
Shin.
Tsunam
Dampa Kuni Topa Sho. Yay! We did it. Okay. Do your homework. And we have class tomorrow, Sunday, Monday. And then the last one's on Wednesday.
What
And there'll
time?
be no, huh?
What time tomorrow and Sunday?
1 o'clock for New Yorkers.
Okay.
And mediodía, para los mexicanos, las mexicanas. Okay?
Thank you.
Ana,
Thank you.
Ana Enia, don't make that face. Come to class. Yeah, I saw you. I know what's going on over there. You have better things to do? No, you don't. No, you don't. Yeah, come if you can. If you can't make it, I still love you. And then last class next Wednesday. Okay?
Okay. Thank you very much.
Yay!
much. Goodbye. Good night.
Adios. Hasta mañana.
Hasta mañana.
Thank you, Pau. She